This is Dr. Flight. I hope you're doing great today. It is wonderful to be touching base with you. This is our week 5 MBA 631 roundup. And so this is just a short little get together just to kind of walk through some of the material, but just preview the week, kind of see where we are. So last week we had a off week, not an off week, of course, but we had our test week. And so it was a time to pause our content and reflect on the first 3 weeks of the course. And so I just wanted to reach out and let you know that the grading process is underway, and with any good luck, we'll be able to get those grades to you for the tests last week. Here not too long. That process is pretty manual, as you can imagine. So it's not something that's automated, and so it takes a little bit of time to get those cranked out with effort. So, anyways, we're moving on into chapter 5 or week 5 rather. Now, something to keep in mind: the chapters in the books. Chapter 10 now, marketing strategic text. We jump around a little bit. And there aren't always a lot of synergy, like numbers wise and chapters and things like that. The Principles of Marketing book will be a little lighter on a lot of these topics, especially as we go deep into the material. So those are backdrops. The strategy book is going to be your primary text. The principles book is just kind of a background book, and equally important, if not more important, are the individual readings that we have. And so this week in particular, I want to just kind of give you a heads up on this customer pyramid reading or article. Now, this article and this concept came from academia, from academics. So the article is going to be more of an academic article, but the theory is super, super important, and it's very applicable in practice. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it out. The customer pyramid is a way to evaluate, or a kind of a conceptual notion of evaluating customers and placing them in certain buckets or groups based on how valuable they are. And generally speaking, it's ranked by, or they're ranked, or they're kind of, again, put in those buckets based on profitability. So profitability across customers varies. It depends on how much you spend in order to acquire them, how much you spend to retain them. And so those costs are variable across different customers. And then, of course, how much they spend with you depends on their profitability, and not just profit margin, but also just volume of sales dollars that come from that. So you're going to read about 4 different types of customers and how this ties into loyalty. One of the ways we measure customer profitability and customer values by something called the customer lifetime value measure. So the CLV. So CLV is something that we calculate, and there's a formula for it, and it basically involves how much people spend with you, how much a customer spends, and how long they stay with you. Their retention, like the probability that they will stay with you for a long time, increases the lifetime value of a customer. How much they spend with you does as well. And so we can actually use customer lifetime value as a tool to segment our customer base. So we can take different customers and we put them in these buckets of value, and some customers you treat differently than others because they're more valuable to you. Right? So that the customer pyramid concept then is extremely important. But what this whole week really talks about is your relationship with customers, customer relationships, customer expectations, and some things like that. So that's kind of what the readings are about. I know the discussion question really touches on an experience you had with good or bad customer service and what you think those effects are. And that's something that you can do some research on. So in other words, maybe you incorporate in your posts your kind of the things that in practice companies are doing to boost or to engage customers from a relational standpoint, whether it's joining a loyalty club or reaching out with good customer service, um, callbacks, callbacks or emails or texts, checking to see if you had a good experience. Those are all ways that we can generate relationships and develop relationships with customers to in an effort to not only create satisfied customers, but also engender some type of loyalty that could be there. So a couple other things you can read this week, which are good. The Aldi and the Starbucks stories that deal with their loyalty programs. Again, these are just short little articles, so nothing too big. Also, the user experience and customer experience from Forbes Tech, and how firms use the experience as a differentiating element for them as they operate. Okay, so again, that's what this week's all about. It's that interaction of managing relationships with customers. It should be a great week. It should be an interesting week to you. You should find lots of application for this week's material to your life, to as a consumer, but also in an organization or business. You should be able to do that as well. So now that we're back at it, don't forget we have our discussion question, and kind of the timing on that still is intact like it always is, where it finishes up Sunday at midnight. But obviously, you're really good at posting early, and that's important because what we really want to get to is a dialogue back and forth. It's not just a post and then a simple, like review of it. It's a back and forth conversation. That's what a discussion is, and what a forum is all about. So that's why there's this time lag and when things are due and such on the discussions. And then finally, your weekly reflection. Those are super valuable. They help you ground yourself in the material. It helps you reflect. The internalization of information is truly where you need to get to. As a learner, as a student, I'm always doing it. I'm trying to think about applications for the things I'm reading every single day. So same type of thing happens here. Okay, so if we jump off of this page, if you're able to see this, you're familiar with the schedule that's up there. If we go to Moodle, again, you're going to have some videos that are available here. A little bit about metrics, the pyramid. There's actually two different pyramid postings. One is just a short little one, and one is the real article, the full one. Then we have our other items here. Again, what you want to do is see a tapestry or a backdrop of concepts associated with forming relationships with customers. And so you're going to see a couple different things here. The very last article that I really want to highlight is this thing called a synthetic customer. A synthetic customer is a customer that is created based on data. And so what we do is take lots and lots and lots and lots of data, and create profiles of customers, and then use those profiles to create synthesized customers that we can do research on. So it's an AI-driven method using big data. It's very, very new. It's very cutting edge, I guess, if you will, in terms of what companies can do. And so if you have a synthetic customer, it's kind of like creating a simulated customer. Well, it is. A synthetic customer, then you can run simulated computer models to predict what they will do if, say, we change our marketing mix, like our prices, or we change our advertising cues, or we change some elements that we're doing in marketing, and then observe what the synthetic customer's reactions will be in an AI model. It's basically what it is. I mean, it's not basic. Obviously, it's pretty complicated stuff, but that's what we're doing today. That's what marketers and researchers are doing in this space today as they learn to form relationships with customers. Okay, so this is just a little, again, a roundup. Continue to reach out to me if you have questions. I think a lot of folks are on board and we're kind of in the middle of things. Again, by the time we hit week 5, after this week, we will be 33% of the way through this term. Week 5 is the 1/3 mark of the term. So I don't know if that's good or bad. It seems like it's moving quickly. I don't know if it is for you, but anyways, let me know if you have any questions and have a great, great weekend and take care.